Oh, hey there everyone. Welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. Today we are in the MKS Class 73 using a combination of different reskins on it. 73-202 in its GBRF livery and the 73-128 in its NSE livery. I'm recording this on Monday the 7th of October and this actual loco is on the circuit today. So we've just been given the road, so let's pull out before we get too far behind in the scenario. We are in electric mode right now, so I'm just going to sort of... Oh, that's fun. There we go. So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll put it into notch hold. So basically this is 3 Whiskey 90. This is the southeastern sort of, well, Kent and, south central, I guess is probably the better way to describe it, RHTT circuit. So we are obviously operating this today. And this is GBRF service in real life. We've got the wagons on the back. I'll quickly have a look at them before the spray jets turn on, because they should be on for pretty much the rest of the scenario after this. Obviously, you've got the nozzles there, which blast. So RHTT, for those of you who don't know, the age-old meme on British railways is leaves falling on the railway. So leaf, flutter, lands on the track. It then gets ground in by really heavy things like these trains going past, and basically becomes incredibly slippery and causes issues because trains basically can't go. Well, basically trains, if they go the same speed, have to brake earlier, and it just basically causes mega disruption problems. Network Rail runs these trains around. This is an RHTT railhead treatment train. We've got obviously water, and a generator in the middle. This is sort of a generator slash pump, and it's pumping the water from these tanks through into basically pressurizes it and sends it out down the bottom and blasts the railhead. What that does is that keeps the railhead nice and clean, and it means that trains don't slip and slide as much. You can see as an example here, actually, because the shoe rail doesn't get, or the third rail here, doesn't get cleaned as much because there's not as much weight on it. You can see one's potentially grimier. This is basically just cleaning the main rail. So you've got 2 water tanks and the generator in the middle, and then 3 water tanks on the back. These basically will spend the day, I think it's like a 13-hour day that this train has, blasting water at the railheads to blast the leaves off the line. So that's how railhead treatment trains work. As you accelerate through about 22 miles an hour, we've got a 30. That is actually a permanent way. There's 3 words missing, so 30 in ESR. There we go. You wouldn't actually blast going over points, but we'll gloss over that. So what we're going to do now is, now that we've got some speed on, full power. This, so the 73 is a tap change system, but we don't really care because basically we're so light it doesn't make a difference. So you've got the GSMR there. You've also got Carb Secure Radio, which isn't simulated on this, or doesn't work on this version, I don't believe. Oh no, it does. We'll turn that off because that should be isolated. But you're using the GSMR, so registered on there as 3 Whiskey 90. We're on proceed aspects. So our consist speed limit, or limit basically whilst blasting, is 60 miles an hour. So you can see the water is now jetting out the back. It creates absolutely no difference to the rails. It's just a special effect. But I actually really like these. So I have a quick little fly around. So again, I'm going to pause for this because I have to concentrate whilst driving. Obviously, I'm using a weathered version because these get filthy. You'll see them at York in sort of the spring, well, early spring to summer, and they'll go from being sort of grimy like this, where they've just been brought back and dumped, to washed and repaired, ready to go back out the next winter. But we've got all sorts on here, so okay, that's, oh no, that is enough. No, that's not an effect on this one. That's fun. But yeah, they are pretty cool. What we'll do, I'm going to get the manual up in front of me. This scenario, by the way, is by me. It will be released soon TM. As you guys may or may not know, I help moderate a stream for a chap called Richard, who's a freight train driver, and he drives this train a lot. So I'm basically going to force him to stream it before I release. So yeah, it's the FEAF wagons, known by the respective tank generator and sandite modules, are common sight on the British rail network every autumn. Known as railhead treatment trains, aka RHTTs, these spray rails throws rails with exceptionally high pressurised water to clean slippery leaf mould from the railhead. Please note the model is the same model included in the Just Trains Class 20 collection, but with much enhanced visuals, audio, physics, and most importantly, spray effects. As well as the enhancement, this pack allows you to obtain these wagons separately at a much lower price if you're not interested in the rest of what the Just Trains product has to offer. Features: so you've got the 4-module variant, got weathered variant, got empty/loaded with realistic physics, spray effects, prototypical sounds from the flat sound pack, a flashing tail lamp, obviously if it's on the rear of the train, and one realistic scenario for the AP Midland Main Line. I've covered that to great depth, so I'm not covering it anymore basically. Not much in the manual. You've got how to install, how to use the scenario editor. Please note these wagons are found in the engine's tender part of the plant. That is a good point to note actually. This is to ensure the spray sound does not cut out prematurely when watching them pass. It's fun. Taillights. When placing a wagon in the scenario editor, you are able to disable the taillights by adding semicolon TL equals 0. To the wagon number, by default the taillight shows on any wagon not coupled at both ends. Bits and bobs. Audio is included for the generator sandite modules on these wagons. This audio is actually only active on the loaded variants. Sorry. Only the loaded WGW and WGS spray the rails. The spraying starts and stops automatically around 20 miles an hour. In reality, any spraying below this speed risks damaging the rails due to the sheer force of the jet. I'm not sure how true that is, but we'll gloss over that. The WWW variant purely carries water. The WWS variant only lays sandite. So yeah, sandite is basically what happens is these do change over later in the year. We'll just stick it about there for now. Again, we'll listen to it rumble through. The main thing I'm hearing isn't the generator, but I'm hearing the flats. One little fact as well. This is one of very few British locomotives that I've cabbed. This actual one. I will provide photographic evidence of this. It was January of this year. It was on STT. So basically, there's a third type of train that runs only in the southeast, which is basically just applies gel and heat to the rails to cause them to be defrosted effectively. Sorry guys, my brain is braining hardcore today. What are we doing speed-wise? Speed-wise, 61. I'll tolerate 61. Because it's within the consist speed, but it's basically slightly too fast for the jets to be fully effective, but 61 isn't going to be the end of the world. And I'm probably getting more of a mess trying to slow off. Where's that? That was still me on lights. That was the day. There we go. Where's the photo? It's the worst photo of me ever. Apologies, it was February of this year. I'm just going to quick double check. Yep, that's not fucked yet. And there's no photos in there. I don't want you guys to see. No, good. There you go. Picture of me in the cab. They're just rattling on. I think there is definitely a flat on this train. We'll just have a little... Unless that's the generator? I'll be honest and say I'm not very familiar with RHTT wagons, aside from Train Sim. But yeah, so the wagon's £9.99. When it first came out, it was £7.99. Oops. Um, but no, honestly, it's genuinely. I sort of meme on AP occasion, but this is a good pack. It's something that I really enjoy having in the sim. And the thing is, like, it's one of those where there's packs that you get occasionally that are a bit niche. Things like the PNA. The PNA, again, really good. Obviously, we covered that last week. Go watch that video after you watch this one. But the in principle, I have no problem with a pack like that. But in practice, it just means that what we end up having is trains that you don't really use all that much. Whereas what this does is this gives you you can use it in any autumnal scenario, any winter scenario, and the rest of the year round. Like I say, you can sling them in yards, and it adds a lot. I think it's similar to sort of the FEAs. You might not use them in every scenario, but also the JNA, that's a really good example. JNACs that AP released ages ago now. Those feature in most of my scenarios for no other reason than they're just in a freight yard. There's that many of them kicking around. This is a really bad practice maneuver that I'm doing here, but bear with it. There we go. Again, hopefully I don't get downloaded. Just noticed that. Armstrong Electronics. Of course as well. Proper train. That is a very accurate sound representation. That means call the police. Ring the Rosses. I'm being kidnapped by YouTube chat. So it's RHTT. So the scenario is obviously pair 37's top and tailing an RHTT, which is very cool, of course. I will probably be. There's this scenario will be released, and it'll cover all the way from Keymer Junction up to Willesden. Is probably what I'll cover in it, which is a little bit over an hour, which would be a nice little drive. Well, over 2 hours. An hour and a half. Sorry. Yeah, so highly detailed. I'm just sort of watching this to try and see if I missed anything off. So on the sander, you actually get a little fan whirling around on the top, which is cool. Got 4 levels of weathering. So this weathering 3 that we're on at the moment. So we get the spray effects, which is understandable. So yeah, RHTTs generally operate in a pair like this. On one of the longer circuits, so if you're talking mileage-wise is longer, is the one that starts at Shrewsbury. It's sort of northwest Wales. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, through Sierra 7-1. Starts at Colham at 20 to 8 at night. Which is just south of Shrewsbury. I don't really care. Goes to basically McCuntleth, Welshpool, back to Colham. Spends about like an hour or 2 there, probably just being hidden out of the way. Goes to Dorrington, Craven Arms, into Shrewsbury proper, Wrexham, Bidston, back to Wrexham, back to Shrewsbury, to Crew, Krill, Banger, up to Holyhead, reverses there, and then runs back via Chester through Crew to Shrewsbury and gets. So basically, that's a 3-wagon load. These, I do always wonder how much water actually bring down there, right? Because that looks quite dramatic, but how much is that? Like, you know what I mean? What is the? Obviously, the pressure is insane, but what's the actual volume, I guess, of water being pushed through? No, I know. Well, I know because I built the scenario when I get crossed over at Gatwick. Also, hopefully you guys are having a good Monday. I think I'm back. I just had a weekend at work, which is always a fun concept. Yeah. There's a 387, pair of them, going southbound. We've got the route indicator there, so I'm going to put it into run back. I'm going to be proper. I'm going to start my slowdown. So quick cab tour of the 73. Yeah, a bit more. I'll do it once we do this crossover, actually. It's at this point that you sort of have to lean over and look down at it. So that's 30 there. I'm 60 crossing, but it's 30 as you go through the station, I believe. So that line there is the 30 line. Southeastern or southern region cabs are weird. Anyway, as I was saying, cab tour. Buzzer. See, these are mixed traffic locos. They used to do passenger stuff. They used to do Gatwick Express back in the day. Loco brake, train brake. Exhaust speeder basically just revs the engine to create more air pressure for you. I went in the engine room when I cabbed this as well, and there's basically a foot pump you can use to get the shoes to go down. Like the level of redundancy in these is insane. Everything goes clunk and bang, and I love them for it. What we could do is change over power on the move. There you go. So we've gone over to the diesel generator now. So obviously I'm still going to be drawing power through the third rail shoes, but there is a key command that does it, and I can't remember what it is, which is the embarrassing part here. But anyway, so you can basically change. So this is obviously these are known as EDs for that reason. You press a button, it goes over to diesel mode. We'll stop the engine for now. Give it a chance. But it just goes back on. The signals wanted this platform cleared. Must have been some reports of poor rail adhesion in the area. We're going straight ahead, so we'll keep the 30 for now. And we'll go into run back. So you see run back, doesn't drop the power off as aggressive, but it basically just runs back through the notches. And we stay on the slow lines now because we don't go, today we're not running, there we go, that's cut out now, so I can now go to off quite safely. But basically, yeah, the whole train's over now, so we can just go, I'll put it back into to run up. So you're supposed to notch when you're at slow speed, but we don't need to. I can just go full power, let's go. Put the power down. Obviously brake cylinder pressure, brake pipe pressure, main reservoir pressure, and main res does that? No, it doesn't care about the horn. That's the horn. Sounds exactly like obviously a slam door multiple unit, because probably has exactly the same mechanics, or some exact horn parts I should say. You can obviously preheat your motors and stuff and cabs, and you got alternative controls on this side. I don't know what the reason is aside from shunting that you drive from this side, but in theory you could. You also not got a speedo, so you got like look over there at that speedo. So I guess it is biased towards sort of shunting operations. No DSD pedal. Oh no, there is a DSD, huh? Not enabled though, can't enable it. On the back panel, you've got your AWS change end lever, AWS isolation handle, handbrake, or parking brake, and then that is sort of your entrance. Huh. There is an entrance into the engine room there, I just can't see it. I'm blind. It's very cool though. It smells sort of, the best I can describe what a 73 smells like is, you know, back in, you know, when you go to like into an aircraft museum and you walk into the hangar full of these really old aircraft and you get that grease smell. That is what just this thing smells like, and I love them. They also have forward facing CCTV, which, yeah, no hello. 387 in the over. I've never had that happen before. That's quite fun. I don't mind, to be honest. I think that adds to the scenario quite nicely. I have realised one mistake I've made though, which I haven't fixed. So we're going to imagine that at the end of Purley there is a red signal. Purley platform 3 is a pathing stop for us, but there should be a red signal at the end of it, basically. I forgot to add that, and I will add that before the scenario is released. There we go, about 400 amps. But yeah, so I like I say, this pack really cool. Is it worth $9.99? If you don't own the JT Class 20s, heck yes. I think most people do though, because of the RHTT and because of the FNAs. I'd say if you're buying it in addition, so if you already own the Class the 20s and you just like doing RHTT stuff now and again, yeah, I'd say it's still worth it, right? That's going to be my angle. So yes, it is still worth it. However, less so. But no, it's less of a bargain. I mean, obviously, I picked it straight up because I think it's worth it enough. But yeah, obviously, you have to form your own opinion on that, though. At the end of the day. Oh, good. I've got a bit of a yawn going on. I am rather sleepy today. trains disappearing off down. So this is Stoke's Nest Junction. No, this is the quarry lines. So the line diverging to the right, that is basically an express line that avoids all the small stations on this route. For the quickest and easiest way to describe it. But yeah, that train actually divides here, so that half gets left behind and that goes off toward Reigate, and the front half continues to Gatwick Airport. Just had a thought there. That's the second time today this train has been through Red Hill. So this morning the train leaves Tunbridge and comes to Red Hill, reverses, goes down the main line to Brighton, then does the East Coast Way, then comes back up from not New Haven. It's the station with the weird signal halfway down the platform. That's really annoying. Basically, it comes up the little line that goes direct, and then that's where we pick up at Keymer, and then we take it up towards London towards the end of the morning rush hour. Bit of ahead of ourselves speed-wise, so I'm going to blow some into the brake cylinders. Just it's very bad practice driving this, but shush. Pull it back literally a notch. Yeah, that is mad that column run. It's literally 21 hours. That service is out and about, and it only, there's a couple of places it takes like an hour, but again, like, it's not as much as you think. And obviously they let it go early as well. Sometimes it doesn't even sit for that long. In most places, it's sort of 5-10 minutes, 2 minutes change it, 2 minutes, 20 minutes. Like I say, the longest break it gets is in Colham on the night time, where it's it's in about sort of 3 hours on the night time, but it's still 16 hours it's out and about, which is mad. Blue Whiskey 90 on the other hand, which is obviously the service we're playing today. But left Tunbridge at 4:30 this morning, and it arrives back at 19:27 tonight, and it's currently at Oxted. Running about an hour early. That's the thing though, you know, it went from, looking at it, oh, that's interesting. Sort of 88 at Hurst Green, so they've rerouted him, because he's then gone to being 64 minutes early at East Grinstead, and then back to 22 late. So something's, no, it's the real-time train's fucking up here, I think. But yeah, so I don't think he's like 60 early. I think, no, probably is actually. I know the guy who's driving it. I'll message him when he gets to Norwood and see if he was early. Oh dear. This is why I wouldn't model this entire scenario. Like, this 40 minutes was enough pressure for me to model. Modelling the full 15 hours, I'd kill myself. And I'm not being over dramatic when I say that. But yeah, I guess so. He goes back down to Gatwick. So yeah, it basically runs. So he does Norwood. Might do that. Might subject him to that. Basically, obviously, yeah. I don't want to be a complete so-and-so, so I'm just checking where we are in the world. Cheating a little bit, but shush. Green, green, green. Warning, we're at 60, that's fine. That's a line that we don't take. I know where we are now. We stay on the main line. 61 again, so I'm just going to put a chopper brake on. Let the brakes drag on a little bit, really. As long as we see below 60, off. Yep. And now we think about coming to a stand. So should have just put that in a run back. I apologise profusely. No, this isn't Purley yet. No, it is apparently. Well, shit. That's why it would have been good to have had signals. And that's why you do notes for your route. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to see more from me regularly. Looks like I'm being let go early from Purley. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye. Fuck that up, didn't I?